I'm the only one with headphones. Wow, wow, wow.
He's the only one with headphones.
Yeah.
He's the only one with
Headphones.
headphones.
Yeah.
You gotta do it like Ready for the World. Headphones.
Yeah.
Headphones.
Yeah.
He's the only one with headphones.
Please help me find my headphones.
He's the only one with headphones.
Wow, wow, wow. Welcome to DWI, episode 21.
Hey, 21.
21. Yo, 21 episodes.
Yes,
Listen, to y'all at home that are tuning in, we appreciate the love. Listen, fellas, let's get straight to it. What in the hell is going on out here in society today with this fucking music? We keep going on and on and on and on about it, but nobody is listening. Nobody's paying attention. Let's dive right into it. Let's get into the music. We talk about it a lot because they say music calms the savage beast. But I want to talk about composing music, writing music, how important it is to know your history. Therefore, you'll know exactly where you're going to go moving forward. But I had no idea, bro, that Babyface wrote for Bobby Brown.
Yeah, Babyface wrote for a lot of people.
Now, the story that I got was Every Little Step I Take and Rock With You wasn't even wrote for Bobby Brown. He didn't even write them.
Right.
And supposedly, allegedly, he wrote them for the Gap Band, Uncle Charles.
Right.
Now, Wax, did you know that?
No, I didn't. That's surprising to hear.
Yeah.
But I kind of figured that, there was like a lot of people that write for other people. You know what I mean? Like a lot of songwriters that can't actually sing as well as the singers.
Right.
So they just give them songs. But that's the first time I heard that. Though.
Now, this is Bobby Brown.
Right.
Babyface wrote these songs. Now, Bobby Brown allegedly, well, I ain't even gonna say allegedly. If you do your history, you'll know Bobby Brown was one of the first original bad boys of R&B.
Right.
Dude, do you feel like that song, Every Little Step I Take, could have been performed by Uncle Charlie and the Gap Band?
Yeah, they could have did it, but it wouldn't have hit like Bobby Brown's did.
Right. Now, I feel personally he could have did Rock With You. Uncle Charlie could have. And turned it into something special. Not saying Bobby didn't.
Right.
Because when I sang that song, I sang it exactly like Bobby did.
Right.
I thought he wrote the shit.
He could have, listen, they might even have made a better song, but like I said, I don't think it would have popped like Bobby, because Bobby was hot as fish grease back in the day.
Right.
Like, that nigga was everywhere, all the little girls, because, they all like the bad boys, so they flocked to Bobby at that point. The Gap Band was old. That was what our parents listened to, so.
Right.
You know what I mean? They wasn't popping like Bobby was.
Yeah. Right. I agree.
It probably wouldn't have the same effect.
Right. Not at all.
Like if they dropped it as opposed to Bobby Brown dropping it. You
Not
know
at
what
all.
I mean?
Even though it could have been a better song. Even though it could have been better, but they just wouldn't have been what Bobby did.
Fuck no, man. Bobby he was running around. Him and New Edition still had beef at the time.
Right.
He was humping his way on and off stages at that time.
Right.
He even had a jam humping around.
Right.
Like, if there wasn't Elvis Presley and Bobby Brown going into the Hall of Fame for the most humps, air humps, you know what I mean? Pause, I guess. But at the same time, if you was in the 80s and 90s, y'all was there, y'all seen them motherfuckers, man. They was straight at it like a crack addict on a craft addict. And I'm coining that, so don't even try to steal it. But listen, this shit I'm talking about nowadays is straight to the point. Straight to the point. Are we fucking or not? Is this happening or no? Because I got shit going on. I got, time to, time. I need to know right now, is this shit happening? With the music and the way the explicit lyrics are now. Now, everybody likes a little, tawdry play every once in a while.
But there's no imagination. Like,
No.
You don't have to use your imagination no more. Back in the day, they implied it, and you could do the math in your head what was getting ready to happen. Now they're like, they go right to it,
Straight
like
to
eating
it.
asshole in a love song. Like, how the fuck is that even?
How do we go from hello to now my nose is somewhere lodged up in your butt cavity?
Right.
And not to mention, we had bases back in the day. We treated that shit like baseball wax. You did? We used baseball references. First base, a little touchy-feely. Second base might have been some shugs.
Right.
Third base, you might be going down to the Netherlands areas.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then walking around like stinky pinky. You know what I mean? For those of y'all that didn't know. And I ain't washing his hand for the rest of the day. You know what I mean? You running around. You almost could have charged a couple dollars to smell them fingers back in the day. Like, yeah, I'm charging 50 cents a smell. You know what I mean?
What base is eating ass though? Is that like?
Like that.
Is that a grand?
That's like a bean batter and shit. That's like a batter getting hit. Like,
And a charged amount.
right. Like, there ain't no basis for that. Like,
I don't even know if there's a signal call for that. Like, what do you like? It's like coming out of the chin and like, bam. Like, I don't even know if you can call that in any type of fucking sport.
that shit's wild, man.
Right.
It's wild that that's like the foreplay now.
That's
you
the
know
norm.
what I mean?
That's the base for these young kids.
Right.
Listen, we was watching the show. I watched the Power series and the BMFs and all that. I'm into that. And you know, me and the old lady was watching it, and it was a scene in there. It was a sex scene, and she said, "That's pretty much what it's based around. It's sex." And I said, "You're right. Sex, money, drugs, murder. That's the new norm nowadays. So it's a wonder why the music is so provocative.
Yeah.
You know, it's more than just selling what you see on TV and what you hear.
Right.
It's more of a that's what it is. It's the new reality.
There's no more imagination.
No.
You know what I mean? That's out the window.
Right.
Like, it's like they're walking around with see-through shirts on at award shows.
Right.
Now. You know what I mean? That's the norm.
As appealing as it looks, you kind of want to have a little decorum about it, man. Like, cover that shit up, you know.
No, but I
Any
mean-
real motherfucker ain't gonna let that shit happen.
I mean, not if it's your joint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You ain't letting her go out the house in no see-through shit. Like,
Right.
You got motherfuckers at home like, man, y'all niggas is just shuckers, niggas. Fuck that shit. Well, call it what you want to call it. If I'm paying for shit we got, and I ain't even gonna base it on paying. If I allowed you to come into this space right here that I call a heart, I'm gonna add some type of fucking objections to what the fuck is happening.
course.
You
Of
feel me?
course.
Right.
I'm just not trying to. That shit. A lot of shit ain't flying. You know what I mean? And in the words that's been spat before me that I've adhered to, you can do whatever it is that you love to do in this world, just not with me.
Right.
You know?
Those are my vittles. I don't want other, you know what I mean? Them is
Everybody else,
mine.
right.
Like, I'm the only one that's supposed to see that.
Right.
In that type of light.
Right.
You know, the curves, however you wear your clothes every day as far as females is concerned, that's your business. If you look good in it, if you got the curves to make the outfit that you're wearing accentuate the way that you wear that fucking dress or them pants,
Right.
that's not your fault. But at the same time, if you advertising this shit with a fishnet joint on and I mean, got the yokers poked out. Like, that shit is crazy. That shit is like extra, read all about it type of shit.
Let me ask y'all this. Would you feel the same way if it wasn't your joint? Like if it was just somebody you talk to and you know what I mean, y'all ain't that serious? Would you?
No, but at the same time, I'm not in a rush to get her to meet anybody that's close to me that would get any type of opinion on what I'm doing with this young lady.
Right.
I got you.
And
I
that's
feel the same way.
Right. And that's about to say that's where, you know what I mean, that's where it goes to. Like if you dress like that, don't think you're gonna get a nigga that's gonna give a shit about you that much. Now he'll smash because you know we're guys will smash anything pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, now, don't go.
Yeah, come on, you know what I'm talking about.
They'll be like, I'll
Come
smash
on now.
always. Okay,
You know what I'm
Right,
talking about. Don't
it
put
is.
me in the R. Kelly category. You know what I'm talking about.
I like all women. Okay, I'm done.
We're guys. We'll pretty much smash a lot of
Pretty much.
anything. You know what I mean? Not anything, but you know what I mean. But at the same time, that we don't bring those ones home to love to take, like you said, to take to the family and none of that shit because. Well, your mom gonna see the pictures of her naked on TV. She gonna look at you funny.
Right. Like,
So-
why is she in here?
Right.
And why are you allowing this to happen? You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Your integrity's in question. Like, I didn't raise you better than that.
Most definitely. Like, yeah, you definitely don't want to take that home to your folks.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now, I will say this, like you were saying, how do I feel about the whole situation, just seeing it out and it not being my girl? I mean, that's definitely eye candy. That's what it's there for. But at the same time, it comes with a cost.
Right.
You know, do you want to be eye candy or do you want to be the candy of somebody's eye? It's a big difference. You know what I mean? Like being the apple of my eye opposed to just being an ordinary apple.
Right.
You know, my man Danny McBride, my man Danny McBride said the best saying that I ever fucking hear, and I said it before. You know, he said that he had trusted this girl that he was dating, and he said, I thought you was a whore with a heart of gold, but here it is, you're just a regular whore with a regular whore's heart.
Yeah.
That shit matters. Like, I'll accept the whore in you that you are, but at the same time, don't try to, you know, act like you're more than just that.
Yeah, play your role. If you're gonna be a whore, be expected to be treated like a whore.
Correct.
Don't think I'm gonna wife you and take you
it to the
around.
next level.
Right.
Exactly.
So it goes without saying. I mean, you know, you do whatever that is that you do. Please understand that, you know, if somebody ain't really taking the whole relationship serious and you can't figure out where y'all's at in a relationship, that's probably why. But I'm not trying to give the recipe away. I'm just saying, if that's what you choose to do in public, you might want to rethink a couple things.
Yeah, and to each his own. I mean, you know, some people don't really give a shit at all, and you know, more power to them. This is just not how I'm rocking, and I'm sure it's not how y'all's rocking.
Nah, I'm
you know
cool
what I mean?
on that.
Back to R&B. Like, I don't know, man. It's just like you said. It's just too. There's no imagination. Plus, like there's no vulnerability anymore. All of these little R&B niggas is just. It's like hip hop all of a sudden.
Right.
Where it's like you can't show no vulnerability. And like vulnerability is, think about all the great fucking R&B songs. It's like, you know what I mean? It was something you took.
Endless love.
Right. You took an L kind of. Some of the dudes took an L or they at least showed that they was able to take an L from a woman and shit. And like nowadays there's none of that. They just, like you said, they go right to eating ass and they go right to beating it up in a love song. It's like, damn, what happened to the love?
I know. It's like they just cut out all the major shit before that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What you're saying, I mean, look at Boys II Men.
Right.
End of the road.
Water runs dry.
That motherfucker said, I knew about it. I just didn't care. Now, mind you.
No, that was some super simping shit.
That brother was simping. That motherfucker said, I knew about it. I just didn't care. So, if that shit happens, that motherfucker got another family on the side. Fuck a bitch on the side. That motherfucker's like, I knew about it. Just didn't bother me. But it was one of those type of deals where they were willing to say, love is blind and I'll let go quicker than you are to do now. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know if it's supposed chemtrails that's getting sprayed around, but everybody is falling out of love.
Right.
Everybody. The divorce rate's high, people breaking up, and it seems like it's for everything, all the wrong reasons.
It definitely is.
Right.
I mean, it seems like there's not too many love stories that last the test of time
Right.
anymore.
Like grandma and granddad type stuff where they was together 60 or 70 years. Like, that shit don't happen.
See, but then that leads me to believe that they leave some shit out.
Oh, I'm sure they do. I'm sure granddad, you already know, granddad probably had a family across town. Grandma, your uncles, and they don't look like your dad or your mom. Like, you know what I mean? They kind of look like the milkman.
Why does Uncle Jerry look like Mr. Williams?
Right. Mr. Williams is always coming over.
Hell, checking on just little Jerry and shit. Right. That motherfucker over there, like, you eat?
Right.
You got everything all right? Everything working out? How you doing in school? And everybody else is in there playing and shit. All right, here, take this $5.
So with all of that, I don't know how they made that work either, but I guess it was just a different time where if you got married, you just worked it the fuck out. But
and like divorce was frowned upon.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you decided to get a divorce, it had to be something serious.
Right.
Like,
and I don't know what is more serious than having a family on the other side of town, but for some strange reason, we ain't giving up.
Right. That's wild. That's wild. But I mean, people aren't, but like it seems like everybody has different options now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if this don't work, like it's almost like they go into marriage like if this don't work,
With a
I can
backup
always
plan.
yeah, exactly. I can always do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. Sometimes this ain't better than that.
Yo, shout out to Grandma for letting Granddad have his own family.
Oh man, shout out to Grandma for having 2 families and shit. Like, stay away from the Johnson sisters.
And still cooking a hot meal for that nigga every day. I mean, there might have been some glass in there or something.
Well, what it was Granddad's whole logic was that paycheck belongs to my wife.
Right.
But my dick belongs to Miss Johnson.
My dick belongs to the streets.
Hell yeah. That motherfucker meant that shit. He was like, here, baby. Here, baby. Nah. That motherfucker meant that shit. So it's a wonder that, you know, a lot of motherfuckers in a lot of situations got a lot of shit going on because they say that, you know, some people have generational curses. Me, I don't know how if I believe in all of that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like to each his own. If you want to make your shit work, you will.
Right.
But it takes 2 to tango.
Thanks.
You dig what I'm saying? It takes 2 to make a thing go right. That song had a lot of logic to it.
Right.
It takes 2 to make a thing go right. Y'all hear me out there? Now listen, after y'all get the knowledge to that, I'm gonna need y'all to do me a favor. Wax, I'm gonna need them to subscribe,
Right.
like,
Okay.
click share,
And
comment.
there you
That's
go.
it.
There you go.
That's it. So, with that being said, the music expressed a lot of how we was feeling. You still got a lot of motherfuckers out there that may not know how to put it all into words. You know, that may fumble and stumble, but back in the day, the lyrics,
Fire.
all summer long, we've been together, and I never felt so good.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
I do.
That high five, that I like the way you kissed me when we were playing the kissing game. That shit was a classic.
Facts.
It was a hit.
I'm about to say, do y'all remember staying up all night talking to whoever, like on the phone?
Razzle,
Like,
dazzling on that
that's what I'm
motherfucker.
saying.
Falling asleep. That's before we all snored and shit.
Right. That's what
I
I'm
can't
saying.
fall asleep on the phone now. Motherfucker will be like, I'll call you in the morning. Like, straight up. But, like, I remember that shit, bro.
Like just staying up all night talking to whoever. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Do you remember as that shit's happening, you got the slow jams playing all quiet and shit in the background and shit? What was y'all's favorite album to listen to when you swizzling on the phone? And by swizzling, that's how my dad used to say. Up swizzling. You know what I mean? It was almost like he was proud of us, but he was pissed that we was up during school hours, or you know what I mean, when we supposed to be in the bed.
Right.
But he up swizzling.
Right. Man, I mean, there's a couple. You know what I mean? Like
I'll start this off. 112. Which one?
Jodeci.
Cupid. Like,
He went in the fucking dirt bag right there and got that out.
I'm telling
That
you.
boom, boom, doom, 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 doom.
There's a couple, man. But like Dude said, Jodeci was another one.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to admit it, but R. Kelly was in the mix somewhere.
Oh man, don't hate, because he was a part of the
Yeah,
fucking
but-
bricks of history that built our childhood
Right.
and our fucking, you know what I mean?
But you know, it's
Like, it's sorry that he did that, but we didn't talk him into doing that
No,
horse shit.
not at all.
We
Not at
appreciated his art.
Right.
So when we go in there, there's no telling if Vincent Van Gogh was a fucking maniac or he did some crazy shit. Or Picasso, you know what I mean? Ain't no telling what the fuck these motherfuckers' lifestyle was. Right. They were artists and they made the art for us to appreciate, not judge their life.
facts.
So I'm gonna let him do whatever he gotta do as far as society is making him do, but I'm not gonna charge him twice.
Who, R. Kelly?
Yeah, I'm not,
Yeah.
I mean, like...
I feel a little bit different, but
Here's the thing. I acknowledge what he did. Well, what if it was your family? I'm pissed off that he did it to anybody's family.
Right.
I don't care whose family it is. But at the same time, it's just like he's doing his situation.
That shit was jamming.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm sorry, that R. Kelly's music was the shit.
it was.
So I still listen to it because I can separate it. I can separate the man from the music.
yeah, I'm not that grown yet.
To separate it?
Yeah, like because I just feel like who's he writing these songs for? You know what I mean? And then with his background, it's kind of creepy, but I don't know. I'm not condoning y'all for liking it.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just me. I just can't I can't fuck with him.
I get it, but I know how to separate it like he does.
Yeah.
For example, I don't indulge in the shit that Elton John does. But that song, I'm Still Standing,
Yeah.
that shit'll bring a tear to somebody's eye. Because despite the fact that what you go through in a lifetime, depending on how old you are, if you're in your 40s like us, and you've been through a few things, you're like, damn.
Yeah.
Throughout the midst of what I've been through, I'm still standing.
I can dig it.
You feel me?
Yeah, but there's a difference between being gay and fornicating with.
There's a humongous difference. There's a humongous difference. I'm saying indulgement in their music opposed to who they are.
I can
R.
dig it.
Kelly falls into a category as well.
I understand what you're saying.
So I'm not trying to make anyone greater or worse in this situation. I'm just separating it from their lifestyle opposed to their music.
I can dig it.
That's all I'm doing. I'm not saying.
And like I keep saying, I can't separate the two. Like, you know what I'm saying? I understand. I get it.
I'm just saying how I'm able to do it.
Right.
You know, because I just say, well, you know what, if that's what you choose to do with your time when you're not making music, so be it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when you're making music for us to adore as such.
Right.
So as far as doing your job, you've done that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't hold you to that entirely forever. Like, there was a period of time I'm like, man, I don't know, you know. But then as the years went on, I'm like, shit, man, he's sitting it down. So, like, when Bill Cosby got arrested, I dare you to tell me I can't watch The Cosby Show. I dare you. So if I'm not going to be biased about The Cosby Show,
right?
Because if that motherfucker comes on, it's not necessarily saying you're going to look at Bill.
Right.
You could be on there checking Denise out. Or, you know what I mean? Or going through and I brought Denise up because that is my bootleg. Lisa Bonet, if you're out there, lifetime crush.
Sandra.
Right, he likes Sandra more.
No, I said Sandra was hot and they gonna hold me to it. For those of y'all that are out there to watch The Cosby Show, please let these niggas know that Sandra was a 7. Sandra was a walking 7. She had every making to be something. She could have been. She hung out with Ray Don Chong back in the day.
Sandra was a 5.
But going back to what we were talking about before, it's kind of like when Ben Roethlisberger was in his alleged shenanigans.
Yeah, or the Mamba.
Like, you still cheered. I still cheered for Ben, but like I can still separate. Like, I don't want to hang out with the dude.
No, after the game's over, you're like, get your fucking touchy-feely ass over there.
Right.
That motherfucker, I can't help it. I like touching asses and shit. Like, damn, Ben, you gonna get us fucking caught up, man. Get out of here. Yeah. Like, you gotta tell him twice. The first one just to alert him that we're on to his shit.
Right.
The second one is to let him know we're serious. All right, man, go ahead and go. I said go. Like,
then after that, it's like he's shooting him away like a cat.
Get out of here. Throw his shit at him. Now, get out of here.
Right.
But like
but I get it though. I get where you're coming from, Wack. Because
I mean,
even the songs like "Seems Like You're Ready" is like,
what the fuck did you just say? Shit. He said just like the song "Seems Like You're Ready," like he's up here picking a strawberry and shit. But go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, I'll tell you the exact time I stopped fucking with him, because like there was always rumors like with him and Aaliyah and all of that shit.
Right.
But when that nigga put on that damn mask and called himself the Pied Piper, it was over.
I just watched.
This nigga is wilding.
I just watched a fucking interview with Cassidy, and he was talking about that mask. Because he was like, I was a new up-and-coming artist, and I'm not going to tell him to take the mask off so he can be pissed off and not do the video.
Right.
But what was that mask all about?
all right,
Some weird shit, man. Like, do the story, like, do your Googles on the story of the Pied Piper. Because that motherfucker was, like...
luring kids away.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
They paid him.
Calling himself the Pied Piper.
They paid him. They paid the story of the Pied Pipers. They paid him. A town in Ireland, I think, paid him to lure away the snake. They had a lot of snakes, so he played his flute, lured away the snakes for some money. And then when after he lured the snakes away, the town was like, "All right, fuck you. We ain't paying you. Fuck off." He was like, "Oh, word." So then he just lured their kids away with the flute and. I don't know if they ever got him back because I don't remember the end of the story. I don't know if he just got away with their kids or not, or they
See,
killed
I
him.
didn't know that. Now that's making this shit kind of hard to even feel that. Thank you for ruining R. Kelly.
I'm sorry.
Like,
just
he's
telling you
already, like...
when I stopped fucking with him, like,
Holy shit, man. Like, damn, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
So, you knew this the whole time and didn't say shit?
what? How the hell am I gonna say
Never heard
shit?
of the
Like,
Pied Piper?
No, I mean, I heard of him, but I didn't know about that majestic flute that was lowering everybody's kids off.
Did y'all see that video where he was in Africa? When he was like, "You want to come to America? Did you get your shots? Do you have your passport? Do you want to come with Rob to America?"
That motherfucker.
I was like, and they was cheering, but I'm like, yo, y'all gonna get here and never be seen again.
Hell yeah, like, we went to America with Rob. Damn, man. Now that you saying that shit, I mean, listen.
No,
I
no,
can't
stay on-
unhear.
nah, stay on that
I was
side.
getting ready to say it. I can't unhear his shit. Like, that seemed like you ready. Like, seems like you're ready. Like, that was a classic.
That was fire.
I-
That whole
man.
album was 100. Like, what was it? 12 play.
Yeah,
That shit was pure fire, man. Like,
Man, I mean, despite the fact that he is who he is and he's done what he's done, I mean, he has made it an amazing catalog of music.
most definitely, and I agree with that. But I just that's
Right.
not one of my biggest R&B singers. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? I just can't rock with him.
And I mean, on the grand scheme of on the bigger grand scheme of things, I totally respect and I agree with what you're saying. It's just that sometimes the music blinds people from the person.
Right.
So
And I hope, you're entitled to that. I'm not like holding it against y'all. You know what I mean? I don't expect you guys to think exactly how I do.
Wax is like, these niggas is perverts, man.
I don't expect y'all to think like normies and shit. But the majority of the world thinks like me.
Right.
He's like, so you and Illy can burn in hell.
You guys can go take your little pervert self and
Go check it on Megan's list.
Nah, but I feel you, though, Wax. Yeah, yeah. R. Kelly.
Hey, right.
He is what he is.
But moving forward, you got groups like Mint Condition, Pretty Brown Eyes,
Right.
that one song, what kind of man
Right.
would I be? Motherfucking Stokely snapped out, man.
Right. And they was talking about not cheating. Like,
Yeah.
when do you think you ever hear that shit, type of shit again?
Man, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I think I was cheating listening to that song because it was such a good song that I listened to it with a couple of my different, you know what I mean? Because it was so special to me. But at the same time, it was just like, God damn, man, what if I wasn't? Nah, I can't. But like, seriously, man. And then you got groups like Drew Hill. That's when shit started getting a little sketchy. That's when motherfucking shit started getting planted in your mind, like sleeping in my bed.
Right.
I got this feeling, and I just can't turn it loose. That somebody's getting next to you.
Right.
That song right there put deception in everybody's mind.
Shit, sure the
If
fuck did.
you didn't think it, you was thinking it like, wait a minute. I know I'm out here doing what the fuck I'm doing, but what the fuck is you doing? And come to find out, you're like, I don't want to walk around knowing I was your fool, but being that man that I am, I just can't lose my cool. Like, that was a fucking joint, but it made you think, like, this shit is real out here.
Right.
This little motherfucker could be doing something too.
Yeah.
You got Shy. If I Ever Fall in Love. Comforter.
Right.
That song, Comforter,
Yeah,
that right there.
A gang of fire ass hits, man.
Silk.
Like,
I remember you were saying something about on the phone all night. With I remember, man. I had this one Silk, and one of my little joints put me onto it back in the day. It was that one. It was like, you told me you loved me. Everything I felt, everything I said, I never meant. No, baby. I didn't mean to make you cry. I did take that shit. But
That was that joint, though.
nigga, me and her was on the phone, swizzle at 12. I'm on this motherfucker like, yes. What you trying to do tomorrow? I'm saying,
Right.
we gonna do what you said we can do? Like, whatever, you know what I mean? A young 19, 18-year-old would be saying at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was like I said. That goes back to
It was the anticipation, dude.
Right.
Man, I can't wait to see you, man. Damn, I wish you was here right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was sitting up there. My joint was harder than the Chinese, so rest my tick up a neck, man, flinky. I'm sitting up there like, you are going to catch the best 15 to 20 minutes I got in these hips. Once we connect.
Listen,
But it was
No, yeah, I mean, when you a young motherfucker and you got a couple dibble dabbles to pass out.
It was a different breed of girl back then too. They liked that kind of shit.
Yes, they did. They felt important.
Right now, you damn near got to treat them like shit.
And listen to the raunchiest rap that you can listen to.
Right.
Like, what you putting this soft shit on for?
Like put Kevin Gates on. I'm like, what the fuck?
Hell yeah.
That booty holes brown shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's their shit now.
Man, you put on a slow jam now, man, that bitch would crack up on your guy. You ain't getting none of this.
Right.
I don't fuck soft niggas. Like soft niggas.
Like I said, it was a different breed of woman back then. Well, girl, I should say, back then when we was young.
Right. Yeah. That was R&B of another time.
Right.
Of a better time, I guess.
Right.
Sir.
And for the young bucks now, they probably say that shit wasn't better, it was just there.
Right.
So to each his own.
But switching topics, did you guys hear about that fight, that Tyson and Jake Paul fight coming up?
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't mean to jump to a whole nother realm of.
Nah, do it to
But
it.
yeah, man, I'm excited about that. I want to see Mike Tyson knock this motherfucker out.
Me too. I want to see him knock him out cold, like,
Right.
and have that old Tyson back. But I might be asking for it too much.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because he is 58.
Yeah.
And ain't no telling what comes back with that old Mike.
Yeah.
He might have to go to another spot in life to get that guy back.
Facts. Like he said he didn't like that guy, but I love him. Pause. I love to see Mike Tyson knocking niggas out, man. Like that there's a nostalgia to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it just takes me back to when he was cleaning people up in like 2 minutes. And
Right.
shit. You know what I mean?
So who would you guys, if you had money to put on it, who would you put on there?
I'm going for Tyson. I've always been a Mike Tyson fan, so I'm going for, I'll never bet against Mike.
Right. What you think, Wax?
I would put money on Tyson, but I'm nervous
Right.
because it is a 58-year-old Tyson, and
Right.
I know old boy ain't gonna go in there without some kind of like clause that helps his case out. You know what I mean?
That's the reason why I wouldn't put, because it's a circus. Even though, you know, I mean, it's just it's a clown show in a certain way. Hopefully, it turns out to be a good fight. But every time Jake Paul fights, it just seems like it's just trash. Because he's like Wax said, he always got a stipulation, or there's always some weird shit going on where he's fighting somebody that ain't really a boxer. It's like, I mean, he got Tyson now, but Tyson's 58 years old. Like, there's only so much you can expect out of him.
Sorry, my bad. Do you get points on fighting a 58-year-old Mike Tyson? Like,
I mean, it's Mike Tyson, so if you beat Mike Tyson, you're gonna get a few points.
right.
But you know, because like, if I fight Mike Tyson right now and beat Mike Tyson, you couldn't tell me shit. 70-year-old Mike Tyson, I'm gonna be like, I beat the shit out of Mike, nigga. I could have did that shit in the 80s, lying to myself.
Right.
But if I'm a boxer, you know what I mean. But yeah, I don't know if you get. And on the flip side, I don't know, like, does Mike get credit? But he's 60. He's 58 years old. He gets,
Hell yeah, Mike gets credit.
for beating a 27-year-old shit talker.
And letting you young cats out there know that, you know what I mean, I still got it.
Right.
So ain't nothing wrong with that.
If I had money to put on it, I'd probably put on a draw. I'd probably put money on a draw.
Yeah. I wonder how many rounds it's gonna be.
Yeah, I
It's
don't know.
That's gonna determine a lot too.
Right.
Because even though Tyson is getting back in shape, I don't think he could last past like 6 rounds.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's probably gonna be 6 rounds.
I hope so. I hope it ain't like 10, like that Ngannou fight.
Ugh.
Speaking of which, did y'all see that fight?
Yeah, I saw the clips of it.
Right.
Now, who was fighting?
Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou.
Okay, now the Ngannou dude, he's been a boxer, or was he in the MMA?
He's a UFC fighter
Okay.
that retired from the UFC and he just boxed. What's his name? Last year. What's his name?
Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury, and lost that, but he put up a good fight.
Right.
Now, whenever he fought Anthony Joshua, it wasn't a good fight. He got put down like 3 or 4 times, and then like in the second round, he got knocked the fuck out.
Right.
Like
Shit.
fell on his his leg was all curled up under him and shit. It looked pretty bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I know boxing is a physical sport, but that looked like more like somebody was getting beat up. It wasn't even a fight.
Right.
Right. Because I think Tyson Fury didn't take him too serious, and that's why he kind of lasted in that fight. Some people thought he won that fight. I think Anthony Joshua didn't take him for granted. You know what I mean? He probably realized like, all right, this dude got more. He got power, like Ngannou got power like nobody does, but he just ain't a boxer.
Right.
So I guess he was like, I'm gonna knock this dude out quick and move on to the next one, get my little payday.
Mm-hmm. Now, did Tyson Fury say something about fighting Anthony?
I don't know. I didn't hear it. Did you hear it?
Yeah, I did. He said he has bigger fish to fry right now. You know what I mean? Like he has like
Anthony.
No, Tyson Fury has a couple people ahead of Anthony before he even considers fighting him. You know what I mean? So like, I mean, he is the heavyweight champ, the lineal champ. So, but I would love to see that fight though for sure. Like, but it probably won't happen for another couple years.
Right.
You know, but who's to say?
Right.
I will say this though, if they haven't already figured this out, UFC and boxing are 2 different things.
Right.
And it's kind of wild, dude. You said something about this earlier, like how he jumped straight to the champs.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he didn't crawl before he tried to run.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta pay your dues.
Right.
You gotta pay your dues because any of those boxers, if they get into the octagon, they're gonna get their arms snapped in not even 5 minutes, probably in the first round. You know what I mean? So it's a totally different sport. It might kind of look similar because it's combat, but they're 2 totally different sports, man. Like 2 totally different. Like one of them's aerobic and one of them's anaerobic. Like you got like boxing, you got to have stamina on top of stamina on top of stamina to jump around and run around, and you can kind of rest a little bit.
Not to mention your arms get heavy.
Right.
With MMA or UFC, you get to incorporate your legs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's a different kind of workout.
And some type of grappling technique.
Right. You gotta know a lot of different shit.
Yeah, you have to practice a lot of different shit. As to boxing, it's just throwing punches and defense.
Right.
That's why they say it's more of an art form.
It's a
You
science.
gotta know how to
sweet
pay.
science.
You gotta know how to pay attention to their moves. There's a punch, there's a counter punch.
UFC, there's like 8 different classes you gotta take.
Right.
And you can't just focus in on one thing. Like you have to master all of this shit.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. You got to get some judo in there to throw somebody. You got to get some karate and some karate kicks in there. Man, there's a lot of different techniques you got for MMA.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Nah, go ahead.
I was saying, you don't play boxing. That shit, there's no playing boxing.
Right.
You have to get good at that shit or get knocked out like your father used to. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like,
moving forward out of the fighting world, what about your boy, man?
who?
LeBron. Motherfucker got his 40,000 points.
Oh, yeah.
He
Yeah.
eclipsed everybody in
The world.
the well
In the history of the
in
game,
history of the game.
40,000. I don't think anybody's ever going to break that record.
What, 40,000 points?
I don't see anybody doing, not while we're living.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot of points. It took LeBron. Because Kareem's record lasted damn near 40 years, or 35 or something like that. So, and the way they take games off nowadays, and you know what I mean, they only play 80 games. They play 80 games, but these dudes only be playing like 60 to 55 games a year. I mean, you gotta be able to do that for 20 plus years. I don't see nobody doing it.
So he's been in the league 21 years.
Right.
Damn, shout out to LeBron, man. Took him 21 years to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
Do y'all feel like his son's gonna be able to make an impact in the NBA like he has?
No.
Nah.
Because you know he's going to get drafted.
Yeah.
I mean, he might. I don't know if he's gonna get drafted this year. He's only averaging like 5 points a game in UNC or so. Not UNC at
SC.
Yeah, at SC. So he's only getting 5 points a game. So
That could
if
change.
they do draft him, it's gonna be because of LeBron, which is kind of lame. Like if I'm him, I'm like, I don't want you to draft me because of my dad. I want you to draft me because of what I can do.
Right.
Don't draft me and then put me on the bench and then have my dad there watching over me the whole time. Like I'm trying to get some little hoes out here too, man.
Make sure LeBron gets in.
Right.
Telling your team.
It's a spectacle just to sell tickets, basically.
And like that to me would be lame for him. It sucks that's the case for him. I wish he was the shit, but I just don't know if he's. I mean, he just had a heart attack, so.
Yeah.
LeBron got 2 kids though, don't he?
Yeah.
He got 3.
He got 3. He
Whoa,
got 2
2
sons.
boys.
Yeah.
Boys and a girl, yeah.
Bryce. I think Bryce is gonna be better than Bronny.
Bryce is big though.
Yeah. Bryce is gonna be tall like his dad.
I truthfully don't think either of them are going to be as good as their dad because like LeBron was doing grown man shit in like the 10th grade. Like he was doing impossible shit in the 10th grade. Which like got everybody to watch him and watch him grow.
Right.
You know what I mean? These young cats, like his sons, have had the spotlight on them the whole time.
Ways.
Yeah, the whole time.
Just being LeBron's kid.
Right. So I don't think they have the hunger for it.
Right.
I don't either.
They haven't had to because they didn't live the life that LeBron lived back in the day.
Right.
So they don't really, they grew up in Brentwood. You know what I mean? They probably. Have the best little lives and all of that shit.
Their dad's a billionaire. They don't have to.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, shit, you got a lot of former NBA players' sons that's doing well.
Right.
Look at Steph. That's Dale Curry. And Dale Curry was a shooting motherfucker back in the day, man.
Right.
But what about Tim Hardaway Jr.?
He was all right.
Yeah.
So, you got a lot of guys that followed in their father's footsteps.
Rarely do they live up to it, other than like maybe Clay and Michael. It's like if your dad was the shit, you don't live up to him. But if he was like just a guy, like Dale, even though Dale was dope, but he was still just a guy, and then his son came in and he's the Curry of the family now.
Right.
Same with Klay Thompson, because Michael Thompson was good, but he wasn't the man. But as far as like LeBron and his record, like I said, I don't think nobody's gonna break it, and we got to give LeBron his flowers because like when it's all said and done, I don't think nobody's breaking that record, the scoring record, and then he's already gonna end up being like top 5 in assists, which is crazy. So shout out to LeBron, man. Like the NBA's gonna miss you when you're gone.
Oh,
bro.
yeah. Especially any team that he's ever played for.
Right. Who you think is gonna be the face of the league when LeBron leaves, though?
Wembanyama.
You think Webby?
Or I think he's the future face.
Right.
But like right now, I mean, it could be the Greek Freak. It could be old boy in Philly. It could, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's wide open.
Maybe Steph. Maybe
Steph's time is
Kevin
up.
Durant. I don't know.
I don't think it'll ever be Kevin Durant.
I don't want it to be, but
You said you do?
I don't. I'm a fan, but I ain't a big fan. Like,
Same here.
Like when I say that, I mean like the next like guy that's gonna take the league for the next 10.
That's
15
why I
years.
said it's not going to be any of those guys.
Yeah, it's not gonna be none of the older dudes. Their time is up. Like Steph Curry's, his time is coming to an end. Same with Kevin Durant. Embiid's getting kind of up there too. So I would say if John Morant didn't act crazy, it would be him.
Right.
But Anthony Edwards with Minnesota, he's super nice. So.
he's yoking shit, man.
Yeah, he's
yoking
dope.
shit.
And you just can't tell, man,
Right.
with a lot of these cats, man.
Somebody got to get up there and take it. That's what it is.
And it's weird because as the generations happen and the decades, it went from Julius Erving, Bird, Magic, they shared it.
Right.
Jordan, you had Mamba.
Right.
These are the guys that came and took charge of the league when it was time to, pass the torch.
Right.
So,
And they really didn't pass it. Somebody just got to get up there and take the torch. You know what I mean? Because ain't nobody gonna pass it to you. You just got to get up there. But all right, it's mine. it's my league, and then whoever, you know what I mean, come take it off me.
But you got to get you some chips too.
You do.
Those guys that I mentioned, them motherfuckers didn't just get one.
Oh yeah, you can't be the face of the league without some chips.
They had multiple championships. Right. So, you know.
Maybe. What if it's like Jokic or what's old boy's name in Dallas?
Doncic. Luka.
Luka, yeah.
Right.
Do you guys think it could be them?
I doubt it.
It's hard.
Know.
I mean,
doubt it.
Yeah, just because they're foreign, like I don't know if they market well when it comes to America.
Right. They would market for their own country.
Right. And as far as like marketing wise, like I don't know if you can market Luka Doncic or Jokic, because Jokic seems like he don't even give a shit.
Because I'm sure when he goes home, he's bigger than life.
Right. But around in America, I don't know. You can't put him up on a billboard and think people are going to give a shit. Even if he is the dopest player in the league,
that's just
all
for
about
now.
Marketing, right? It's just as far as like his likability or his willingness to, because like Jokic just seems like he's dope, but he just seems like he doesn't want to be there at the time, even though he just wants to play basketball, but he doesn't want to be like
the face
of it. Yeah, like he doesn't
want
care.
All eyes on him.
Right.
Yeah.
He just doesn't give a shit.
I'm just scoring 30 points
Pretty
and
much.
go home.
Right.
To get camera out face. Now! You know you gotta say it twice. But nah, man, I'm saying that to agree with y'all, you know, on that level because, you know, like I said, when they go home, I'm sure that they're highlighted in all of their countries where they come from. So you're not gonna have it that way.
Right.
At all. So, you know, it's open season, I think,
right,
for a lot of these young cats. So, get your shit together, fellas.
Right.
NBA's wide open, man.
Your time is now.
You know, and the guys that I mentioned, they were a part of dynasties. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't just one or two. You know, there's so many guys I could have mentioned. You know, you got Shaq. I mean, just big, humongous faces of the NBA at one point in time. Like, oh, shit. I don't want to go down to L.A. because they got Shaq. I don't want to go to Chicago. They got Mike. I don't want to go to Detroit. They got Isaiah. They got Dumars. They got, you know, a lot of guys that know how to hoop.
Right.
I don't want to go to Boston. They got Bird. You know, there was a lot of towns that you didn't want to go to because these guys were revered for a long time in the game of basketball.
Right.
So in order to create a dynasty, a legacy, if you will, you got to be in it to win it, man. You can't just be lollipopping. I win a championship here and then I win one before I leave. Like, nah, them foreigner cats, they're good. They're not going to cut it. You know, I'm not going to call them a one-trick pony, but, you know.
Right.
It's just not, I don't see it happening.
Right. Time will tell.
Well, I mean, Wembanyama's a foreign cat, though.
I know, but he's a foreign cat playing in American soil for the team that I just happen to love. So shut the hell up, Web.
I'm saying you're contradicting yourself.
I know, but didn't nobody tell you to say that.
I'm just
I wasn't
saying
even thinking about that.
because I think he might be the face eventually, but. I mean, who's to say? It's hard to say.
It's hard to live up to the hype. That's why I give LeBron a lot of credit. Even though it sounds like I'm just on LeBron's shit the whole time.
Are, man. LeBron, man, little homie, get off my job.
But who had that much hype and actually lived up to it? Like that didn't happen
with no trouble,
right?
You know
no scandals,
right?
How many times does that happen where it's just super hype and then you actually live up to it?
Right.
Because we've seen a lot of hype people and then they just turn out to be, you know,
flops.
Right.
Or
even Jordan and Kobe had.
I was just thinking,
you know what I'm saying?
With the gambling and
the womanizing and shit.
Wow, that is true story, man.
Yeah. So shout out LeBron.
And he's played longer, well, if not just as long as Kobe.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He did. But yeah, man, the NBA is going to be one of those things that's going to be exciting again. But it's any man's game as far as who's going to be the face of it.
Yeah, it's wide open.
It's wide open. Seems like it's coming to a conclusion, fellas. So with that being said, we came, we saw, we delivered. Now, we're going to come back at you same time, same location, different message. Peace.
Peace.